The Seraph. Daggerheart's answer to the Paladin and or Cleric. The holy warrior that not only heals and supports the party, but also smites their foes with equal measure. I'll be going over what the Seraph's abilities are, and what the two subclasses do. But before we start our journey, why not smite that like button down below and subscribe to keep up to date on everything Daggerheart and TTRPG related. Firstly, the Seraph's domains are Splendor, the domain of life, and Valor, the domain of protection. So immediately we get a sense of what the initial playstyle of the class is, which is to be the frontline support of the party, that not only heals them, but also protects them from danger, which starts with their hope feature, life support, which if they spend 3 hope, they can clear a hit point from an ally within close range. This feature allows the Seraph a relatively consistent healing ability to keep everyone in tip-top shape. The Seraph's main feature though is Prayer Dice, which states, at the beginning of each session, roll a number of d4s equal to the subclass's spellcast trait, which in this case is Strength, and place them on your character sheet in the space provided. These are your Prayer Dice. You can spend any number of Prayer Dice to aid yourself or an ally within far range. You can use a spent die's value to reduce incoming damage, add to a roll's result after the roll is made, or gain hope equal to the result. At the end of each session, you clear all unspent Prayer Dice. So with this, the Seraph plays similar to a D&D bard with their Bardic Inspiration, although in ways a little more versatile than Bardic Inspiration, in which they can use the Prayer Dice to change the tides of an encounter in the party's favor. That is all of the main base features of the Seraph, which in my opinion are really solid, with life support being able to give consistent healing, along with Prayer Dice being able to field that ability if needed, or using the Prayer Dice to protect allies or making sure their rolls succeed. It makes the Seraph a really solid support class. Now on to subclasses, which for Seraph consists of the Divine Wielder, which is all about wielding a divine weapon to take down foes, and the Winged Sentinel, which takes the Seraph to the skies to protect their allies from above. Let's start with the Divine Wielder with their foundation features. First, they get Spirit Weapon. When you have a equipped weapon with a range of melee or very close, it can fly from your hand to attack an adversary within close range and then return to you. You can mark a stress to target an additional adversary within range with the same attack roll. So this basically allows a Seraph, if there's an enemy out of range or something like that, they can throw their weapon into being able to attack them anyways, turning their 5 to 10 foot range weapon into a 30 foot range weapon, which is pretty decent if they can't move or if the enemy is on higher ground or fight flying, and or if they mark a stress to allow them to attack 2 targets at once, which also I feel is pretty damn strong. The next feature is Sparing Touch, which is very simple. Once per long rest, touch a creature and clear 2 hit points or 2 stress from them. Like I said, it is very simple, but an effective feature, since now on top of the base class's Hope feature, the Divine Wielder now has another method of healing, albeit they can also clear stress from the ally as well, which, depending on the class and or playstyle that they are playing, it could be even more beneficial than healing them, since they could be using stress for spells or abilities. For the specialization feature, they get Devout. When you roll your Prayer Dice, you can roll an additional die and discard the lowest result. Additionally, you can use your Sparing Touch feature twice instead of once per long rest. Again, a very simple feature, but also strong, basically buffing the Seraph's main abilities by making it more consistent and valuable, and making Sparing Touch more consistent healing, with being able to now use it twice. For their Mastery feature, they get Sacred Resonance. When you roll damage with your Spirit Weapon, if any of the die results match, double the value of each matching die. For example, if you roll 2 5s, they now count as 2 10s. So with this last feature, they get a boost in damage. Granted, not always consistent, but still a boost in damage, which gets a bit stronger if you crit with max damage on top of doubling the result. That is the Divine Wielder. Now on to Winged Sentinel. The Winged Sentinel, for its foundation feature, gets Wings of Light, which as the name suggests, grants the Seraph the ability to fly. While they are flying, they get the following features. They can mark a stress to pick up and carry a never-willing creature approximately their size or smaller, or they can spend a hope to deal an extra 1d8 damage on a successful attack. With these simple features, it can allow the Seraph to carry an ally to a better position to either attack a foe, or get them out of danger of an oncoming attack, or something more creative than either of those two. Or the Seraph can use their flight to give them extra damage. Their specialization feature, Ethereal Visage, grants them the following. While flying, you have advantage on presence rolls, and when you succeed with hope on a presence roll, you can remove a fear from the GM's fear pool instead of gaining a hope. So what makes this ability incredibly interesting is that it has a direct interaction with the GM, one of the few abilities and items to do this, by being able to remove fear, which in turn can prevent the GM from unleashing devastating abilities on the party, and the ability to have advantage on presence rolls is also nice, and obviously does play into the main selling point of this feature. Lastly, there are mastery features, which are Ascendant and Power of the Gods. Ascendant gives them a +4 bonus to their severe threshold, which in turn makes them more tanky, while Power of the Gods switches their d8 of damage from Wings of Light to a d12. While both are very simple features, both are nice since it does lean into the frontline support of the Seraph as a whole, but I do kind of wish it was a tad more flashy though, especially being, like a capstone final feature of the subclass. And that is the Seraph as a whole. A very good frontline support of the party that can heal and dish out damage at the same time, and a very unique take on the holy class archetype in TTRPGs. If you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like on the video and subscribe to keep up to date on all things Daggerheart. Bye for now.